Finally, after years and years, Doors Floor 2 trailer is out. So I decided to get out of my cave. That's why I look like this. Don't mind my skin, guys, and make a video about it. But before we start, for my new subscribers, if you're wondering what is this game, basically, a horror game that I used to make videos on before. Well, now let's talk about the trailer, since there is a new entity that is like 3 times bigger than the figure and definitely way stronger. This is so sick, Lowell. Well, firstly, we can see a new door with the 113 number on it, since now we will go from door 100 to 200, if that's the case. I say that because LS Plash may have done something crazy this time, like going beyond door 200, but it's just a theory. Well, right after we saw the door, we can see a toolbox on the ground, which I guess we will be able to open, because there won't be any drawers to open. But we gotta get items somehow, and at the other side we can see a light stick on the ground. We will be able to grab it probably, since in an old Doors update, Les Plash made the key spawn on the floor in some rooms, and we would be able to grab it from there, so I think that we will also be able to grab that one. While the screen is zooming out, a light bulb starts to flicker, meaning that an entity is coming. But it started flickering before opening doors, meaning that entities can come at any moment now, not just when we open a door, which makes the game harder. But before we talk about the entity that is coming, I want to point out something when Lustplash is going through the water and is about the purple light that we can see at his right. I don't think that's just an ambient color, since we can see the color on the edge of the stairs too. I guess it's just eyes, but it can also be something else. Also, I think that Dupe will also be in floor 2, since at the left there is another way to go. I don't know where, but there is one, or it's just a fake door that we cannot open, and it's there just to distract us. After entering the next zone, I noticed that Lustplash has like a new type of flashlight, since the power of it's not as strong as the one that we can find on floor 1, and I can confirm that, because when Redibles is about to hide in a locker, we can see that he has a tiny flashlight at his chest, which will always be on. With that, I mean that we won't need to have it equipped in order to have it working. But that also means that the light will go out faster. In the same place, we can also see another door that leads to another path. But I guess that it is not a long path, maybe just a tiny room, since these also exist in floor 1. After looking around for a spot to hide, Lustplash does not find any. So he decides to run forward, but he notices something strange, and that is, the sound of Rush is not coming from behind, but from in front, and then Rush appears and kills him. So Rush will now be able to come from the front, but I wonder if that is like 1 or 2 times. Since we also got Ambush, which I hope that he does not appear, he was super annoying when I started playing Doors, and many times killed me due to his large hitbox. And after that, the craziest thing happens, and is that we get to see what the guiding light looks like in-game, and it looks like a moon that produces the same light that we can see in the game when we get lost. So, what does this mean? Basically, we will get an insane lore about the guiding light, the hotel, and every monster in it, which sounds pretty amazing. Lustplash himself confirmed months ago that there will be a crazy lore for the game. But since we are at the start of it all, there is not much lore. That can only mean 2 things. First, we will get more floors, like floor 3 or 4 in the future. And second, that we will be actually helping the guiding light and fighting against the monsters in order to end this all. Of course, this is just a theory, but since there is a crucifix inside the game that can actually trap monsters, it would not surprise me if we gotta chase the monsters down. But before we continue, I want to talk about one thing, and that there are bubble effects, and also the player is doing the swimming animation. So there can be 2 things. Maybe this is happening under the water, or this is like a heaven for the dead, and it is above the sky or something like that. I'm pretty sure that the guiding light will have an interesting lore inside the game. Continuing, we can see Lustplash holding a light stick, but is using it for a place that seems special, because at the start, we can see something like a hole through the wall. But Lustplash came from above, so that may be like a secret entry or something like that. But it's not just that, because after we can see Redibles using a ladder to get to where LS Plash is. But near the ladder, we can see two things that have the shape of door entries. Maybe they lead to a different zone, a zone that I will talk about later, since it's pretty insane. After, we can see another glow stick on the floor, or light stick, however you want to call it. Continuing, we also can notice that the ambient is hot due to the red light and fog all around, because we are near an area that is super dangerous. But before we talk about that, let's talk about what in the world this thing over here is. It looks like Screech, but on drugs. I remember doing a video 2 years ago about this, but I didn't think that they would actually add this abomination to the game. Lol. Even Redibles is impressed because of what he's seeing right now. But what impressed me is that Redibles came from another zone, meaning that they may be different paths that connect along the way to reach the end, which is pretty cool, not gonna lie. But not just two, since where whatever abomination is that is at, we can see something that is supposed to be at stairs so people don't fall off them, basically to hold them. Well, we can see that it is rising, meaning that there is another secret way under the cave. If the two ways was not insane, this is just mind-blowing. Well, I said all that, but I don't think it's the way I said it. But there are definitely secret rooms. Well, not rooms. Secret parts of the cave, like this one where Lee's Plash is looking at, which leads to a different path. Or maybe it just ends at the corner. We don't know that yet. But we will see. After that, we can see another side of the cave that looks pretty dark and scary, meaning that this part may be at the end or close to it, since we are going deeper and deeper. Well, something that is pretty tiny and does not look familiar jumps on Redibles' face and attacks him. I was gonna say that this is the friking rat with legs of Timothy, but bigger, but people are saying that this is a crab face or something like that. No idea what that means. But this thing will be scarier than Timothy 1000% LOL. If Timothy was already killing me, this and TT will produce me a heart attack. Also, I'll do hardcore videos on floor 2, yes, so I'll make this monster even scarier. Because for some reason, you guys enjoy to see me suffering. So, I'll do just that. Well, after that, we can see another room that seems pretty dangerous. And indeed it is. Since Redibles did something and exploded into pieces, the reason behind that is because he was in a toxic room with inflammable fog that would explode at any second if we did something like using a candle or a lighter. And that is what Redibles did, since we can see that he moves his hand a little in order to equip something, and right after that, he explodes into pieces. Not gonna lie, the developers are going crazy with floor 2, and I'm pretty exited for that. Not gonna lie. But if you think that was cool, the next part, where we are going through the cave with a minecart, is just insane. I'm pretty sure this is a chase, since we can actually change the direction of where we want to go. As you guys can see, here is a part of a lever, meaning that we will need to choose the right direction. You may wonder how. Well, I got absolutely no idea, my friend. I guess it will be pure luck the first time. But if the cave can generate where the bad and good sides are, then it will be a 50-50 situation, basically, luck-based. Or maybe there will be a map of the mine that will tell us where to go, which sounds better. So it must be something like that. Well, after that, we can see a room that is a bit strange, and I'll get to that in a moment. But before we can see more flying rats, bruh. Yes, even more of these pieces of actual, these things break any light source there is, and they can even steal yours if you have any, like a flashlight or lighter. So when playing this, in 31 days, make sure to hide your stuff from these little robbers. Also, Eyes can now teleport in front of you, and he will defiantly deal some damage before you can even react, since he just appears from thin air and he can follow you now. Yes, if teleporting was already annoying, he can also follow you. Now, I don't know if he will be able to follow you for 3 or 4 rooms, since normally after opening a door he just disappears. but it will be most likely that he will be able to follow you even if you open a door or two. Well, that's not all. We can also see something like spikes. Well, not spikes. But I don't know what these are on the floor. According to people, these are eggs, and if you walk on them, you will release these flying little robbers. And after these, right on the door, we can see that it is different, and it has a symbol on it. The symbol on it means that in the next room there will be inflammable stuff, basically the room we saw earlier where Redibles exploded, and that door tells us to be aware and not use anything that could cause an explosion. After that, nothing crazy, just rush going around. But after, we see a machine, where we gotta type in a code in order to access a zone or open a gate. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is that the thing from earlier, whatever this abomination is right next to the code thing, but it didn't attack Lustplash, meaning that it's just there, suffering. I say that because there are multiple screeches morphed for some reason, and that sounds and looks disgusting. But don't worry, I'll clean a little bit the game when the update gets released. Yes, clean it, if you know what I mean. After we get to see the generator that we also saw 2 months ago in a sneak peek for the trailer, and we can activate this one by putting lights inside it. Somehow that works, I guess. Oh, and also that ugly flying cacao ball attacked LS Plash, and Readables also got attacked by eyes, and we can see that he covered his eyes. Maybe it'll be a new feature inside the game, or it's just an animation for the trailer only. Well, in the next clip, we get to see once again these flying parasites that steal your stuff, actually attacking Redibles, and leaving some type of eggs on him, using his dead body for the babies to eat. Nah, that's actually disgusting. I swear I'll do an amazing cleaning when the update arrives, and the cleaning will consist of me making sure that there will not be a single one of these alive. Also, I saw something in the water, which I guess are also eggs, but these are too big. Maybe it's from an entity or just decoration, I don't know. But we will see. And of course, Screech attacks. Once again. Laos. Plash. The thing is really annoying, as always, isn't it? After that, the figure appears from thin air also. But of course, he came from above. Did not teleport like eyes, and I'm pretty sure that he started chasing us after that. So there will be most likely 3 chases. I'll talk after why I said 3. Before that, I want to talk about Lustplash trolling everyone with the release date. When he said January 2025, he killed me, LOL. But then magically Glitch appears, and he saves everyone by giving us the actual update of the release. Basically next month, in 31 days, we will get the update. Till then, I'll upload the strongest Battlegrounds videos. But that does not mean that I missed about doors. Not at all. I just don't know what to do in it. But don't worry, I'm coming back at the game. And of course, I'll also continue posting about the strongest Battlegrounds. Well, now the reason why I said 3 chases is because at the end, we get to see a monster, even bigger than the figure, like 3 times bigger. It has a tentacle, so it will mostly be something like a kraken. And I think that it will be a chase also, or maybe a fight. That would be insane. People say that it is Jeff but evil, but I guess it's something that looks like him, but it's not actually him. Well, that was all for this trailer. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you all when the update arrives, and with nothing more to say, bye.